Howdy folks, and welcome back to the mini bike series. I believe this is day 10 today, and this is the first one in the series where I'm not 100% sure how today's mod is going to go. Typically speaking, I've been like, I know this is going to make the bike better. I don't know if today's is, but here's what we're doing today. We're going to replace the rear sprocket. So as you can see, if I just kind of hold that up there, you can see this sprocket is smaller than the one that's on there. What's on there is a 75 tooth. This is a 60 tooth, which should bring the final drive ratio down. So if you take the 12 tooth clutch that's on it, do some simple division, it's got a 6.25 final drive ratio right now. This should bring it down to a 5 final drive ratio. So I've done some research. Apparently 5 is supposed to be a very magical number on a mini bike. People say it does a great mix of acceleration and top end and makes it so the bike isn't so when you're just going along at a cruising speed. So again, I don't know if this is gonna make it better or worse, but we're gonna find out today. So that's the plan for today. Let's get busy. Okay, so new sprocket is on. That didn't take long at all. And now I'm gonna put the chain back on, but of course the chain is too long because the chain was set for a 75 tooth sprocket. So I got one of these chain breaker kits from Harbor Freight. Let's try it out, see if I can shorten this chain and get it to work out with the smaller sprocket. Here we go. Okay, we're running into what's known as the half link problem. This does happen. So you can see I've got it broke, I've got it here, ready to put the master link in. But then what you can see is this chain is excessively slacked. Even with the chain tensioner, we're still excessively slacked. So we need to remove another link from the chain. But what you can see here is if I try to pull this one over, even with this all the way, it's just a little short. I could either try to force it, or I could loosen up the engine and slide the engine forward just a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go that route. So I've got the master link in here. I don't have it locked in, but you can see it's super loose. So let's see what happens. If I can, there we go. Slide that all the way forward. If I can slide the engine forward a little bit, and I think that looks like it's still gonna work with the exhaust bracket. Okay, I think everything is on here. Got the tensioner back on, chain is back on. It's got a little slack. Next step is to install the master links in, but I need to retain it. So that goes on all the way in as far as you can get it. And you slide this on like this. All right, master link is snapped in. Feels good, a little slack in the chain. All right, next thing, let's lube this chain. Then we should be ready to take this thing for a test drive and see how much difference this chain made.
Okay, let's do a voiceover to some of the riding footage here. So after I got the sprocket installed, the first thing I did was take it off-road to see if there was a difference in, feel or performance. So there is a noticeable difference, and what you notice is at low RPM, if you're like navigating an obstacle or something, it doesn't have that immediate power delivery like it did with the larger sprocket. It's not slow, and it's not like starved for power. In fact, I took it up a couple hills, and it navigates the hills just fine. So it's still got plenty of power to be used off-road, but it's not quite as immediate when you do boost that throttle. So, if you're going to use this bike exclusively off-road, you might want to stick with the 75 or maybe split the difference and go to like a 66. That said, with this sprocket, it's still very, very usable off-road. Now, when you get it out on the street is where you really notice the difference, because that sprocket brings the RPMs down. And of course, it's going to give it a higher top speed, but what it really does is it makes the cruising speed so much nicer. When you're cruising along at like 30 miles an hour or something, it doesn't feel like the engine's going to explode. It's just a nice low RPM, and it just makes it more friendly to ride in general. Now, I did do a couple top speed runs with it. First one was 51 miles per hour, and I could tell it had more in it. I did another one, I hit 52, and again, I think it had more in it. I think it might get up to 53, 54, somewhere in there, but I was kind of chickening out. So definitely made a difference on the top end, but it did drop the 0-30 time a little bit. The best I got was 4.8, whereas previously I had 3.8, so it did add about a second to the 0-30 time. But once again, when you're just riding it, like if you're just riding it around a neighborhood or something, it's just so much more comfortable to ride because the RPMs are just nicer. It just feels more like a bike that's designed for the street. So maybe street tires. I don't know. Stay tuned.